This is Mackay's historic mine hill and the ghost towns of White Knob and Cliff Creek. Hundreds of miners flocked here when valuable ore was discovered in 1879. But today, the mine hill's treasures are only the remnants of its history scattered across the hillsides and gulches. Meaningful mining didn't begin here until 1884. Since then, almost 1 million tons of ore have been removed, including 42,000 ounces of gold, 2 million ounces of silver, and over 62 million pounds of copper. From 1901 to 1905, about 400 rugged men worked the mines. Some commuted up the mountain in stages from Mackay, but most, along with their families, settled up on the mountain, creating the towns of White Knob and Cliff Creek. By 1917, the population grew to over 1,000 and boasted a general store, boarding house, post office, movie house, pool hall, barbershop, school, and even telephone service. And like many mining towns of the day, it also had its share of bars and brothels. Today, only a few remnants of White Knob remain. One is the entrance of the Cossack Mine Tunnel. It extended over a mile into the mountain. Here are also what remains of the compressor building and some smaller metal-clad buildings, as well as an old miner's wooden cabin. The compressor building was constructed in 1917. It supplied steam for the air compressors, which was then sent throughout the mine by pipes and hoses to run the miners' drills and jackhammers. Ore was hauled out of the mines to the loading chutes in small ore cars and wagons pulled by mules. The Shea Railroad system then shuttled the ore from the mines, traversing the hillsides and a curved wooden trestle that spanned a 105-foot gorge. In 1918, the railroad gave way to a gravity-powered aerial tramway, and the original railroad trestle was eventually condemned and demolished in 1998. It was completely rebuilt in 2002 with cable side railings for safety and provides many outstanding photo opportunities. High up on the mine hill sits the tramway head house. It was the loading station for the gravity-powered aerial tramway system that connected the mines to the smelter below. The aerial tramway consisted of a series of 36 wooden towers. Most have collapsed, but several, leading up to the compressor building, have been restored. The original 36 towers supported a loop of heavy steel cable over 6 miles long. The White Knob Historical Preservation Committee sponsors Mackay's Mine Hill Tour. These groups are responsible for the mine hill's preservation and restoration. They have erected interpretive and route signage and created pamphlets with color-coded maps and directions to historical points of interest scattered across the canyons and hillside. Many of these routes are accessible by regular automobiles, while others are designated for high clearance and four-wheel drive vehicles and ATVs. Many of the tour's sites are located on private property, and visitors should respect the landowners when exploring the locations on their mine hill adventure. Although the miners and the towns of White Knob and Cliff Creek are long gone, it isn't hard to gaze on these historic sites and imagine what it must have been like to live, work, and survive on Mackay's historic mine hill.